Let me start off with myself. As Christine mentioned, I am Mika. Currently, I am a consultant in a BPO company. So normally what we do is it's more like a data analytics slash PM role wherein I handle an LOB. So LOB is a line of business. You may call it as an account. So what we do is we look into the metrics with the failing metrics and we look into processes we can improve. So yes, Lean Six Sigma is for me. And I took it this year. So let me talk about my project. Sorry, my coffee just came in. Okay. Okay, so let me talk about my project. So my project I use for my certification is productivity. So technically, productivity is like the cases you handled in a specific hour, 1.71. And after 2 months of using DMake, so March, April, May, by May, we started hitting the 20% target. So from 3%, after 2 months, we reached the 20%. So after, of course, hitting the target, you want to have your control phase. So control phase runs for 3 months. So for 3 months straight, week on week, we are hitting the 1.71 with 20% analyst. But the real question, and I mean, it's the most basic one, and it's the most challenging one. How do you get a project? How did I get my project? Right? I mean, I believe some of you already have their project. You're working with that already. Some of you have the specific projects on your mind, but some some people don't. And that's the most challenging one, as I say. So on my part, it's really easy since I have visibility on the data. Since I have visibility on the data, all I have to do is to look for the metrics that are failing, look for the red metrics. And from there, you can get that as your project. Now, my tip would be the same. So if you have visibility on the data, look for the failing one, take that as your project. If you don't have visibility on the data, you can look into the reports. Now, once you look into the reports, look into the red metrics. You can check your heat map, see if there are red metrics. You can take as a project and then take that. Now, question Mika, what if I don't have visibility on the data and I don't have visibility on the reports as well? What can I use as a project? My suggestion would be look into your processes. So for example, okay, we don't have data at the moment, but we are doing delivery services. So for delivery services, say you want to check what's a specific branch you have less AHT or the duration from the time you say you're delivering a product, from the time you get the product until you deliver a product. So check that. Now question Mika, I don't have the data for that. So what can I do? What can I use? So if you don't have the data, make the data. So how do I make the data? Use TMS, time and motion study. So you can also check on that. Once you get the TMS, get the pilot team. So for that pilot team, you can use your delivery trucks or whatever, depends on your company. Once you get the duration for that, run it for 2 weeks. Use a stratified sampling method in doing the TMS. And from there, you get the data. Now you can work on your project. You make the project. You make the data if you don't have that one. Okay, so going back to my project. So again, March, we are at 3%. After 2 months, we hit 20%. And currently, I'm proud to say that we are at 70% already. So that's how Six Sigma PH and the DMake helped me with my project. So it's not just that. So aside from the project itself, it helped me boost my confidence in the team. So technically with my current team, with my account, I am the youngest manager. And when I started this project, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do, to be honest. I don't know. I mean, I am a data analyst. I know I can tell you what specific branch to focus on. I can tell you what specific case tags we can prioritize, but I don't know how to start. I know I need your sign off to this one, but I know I need to make a project charter, but after that, what am I gonna do? I don't know. I don't know when to close a project. I don't know when to start a control phase. I don't even know there are phases of a project. So that's how. So now that you are green belts, so you already know that. You already know that once you get the project, once you get a metric that you can improve on, you already know that you will undergo define phase, you will go measure phase, and analyze phase. And I just want to share that I really love Analyze Phase, and you will learn a lot about Analyze Phase in your black belt certification, in your black belt course. Like you will learn a lot of statistical analysis, and I really love that. It's so easy to learn, but the value it's giving is like a lot. Like, I mean, like a lot, especially that. Well, probably in your team, you're the only one who knows how to do ANOVA and correlation and regression and a lot of statistical analysis. So that's about my project. My tips for you guys would be, since you are now green belt and you're going to start your project, just make sure to give credits to your team. Make sure to get them involved in your project. Make them accountable of your recommendations. And speaking of which, I forgot to mention my roadblocks along the way. So, of course, with the 3% to 20% to 70% improvement, I face a lot of challenges. I face a lot of pain points. One would be the data itself. Even though I have visibility on the data, it just happened that, so for example, since I'm handling a case from the time case creation until case close, right? But the client can provide me the specific duration in case handling. So, of course, in a case handling process, you have your case investigation, you have your case triage, you have your email draft, case documentation, and so on and so forth. But they can't provide me the specific duration. Now, question, how do I get the data? As I've mentioned earlier, you may do TMS. So that's one roadblock. Again, if the client or your sponsor can't provide the data, make the data. That's one. Another one would be the recommendation implementation itself. I mean, in the real world, you guys know that even though you have provided all the analysis and all the recommendations, you can provide them. It's just that the action itself is really hard. So what can you do for them to action on that? First would be make them understand the benefit of your project, make them understand the benefit of your action items, your specific action items. If possible, you can do impact analysis. So for example, you have your recommendation, list of recommendations, recommendation A, B, C. Recommendation A, if we do this properly, that will give us like 10% increase of, say, productivity. So if we do this implementation properly, that will lessen our AHT by 10 minutes. If we do this recommendation B, that will lessen our AHT by like 20 minutes. So that's how you present that to them as well. Another one would be, quote unquote, which is really effective, accountability. Make them accountable of your action items. And don't forget to give them credits. So that's it for my part. I'll pause here if you guys have any question for my project or for me. Go ahead.
Okay. Let's give muna Mika a round of applause. Sige, let's unmute our microphone. Let's unmute our microphone para ma-hear naman yung clap natin. Okay, congratulations, Mika.
Thank you so much, GC. Thank you so much, GC.
Ayan. So, questions for Mika. Questions?
How many projects did you have to complete to get your black belt certification?
Just one. You just need one project for the certification, but currently I'm working on 3 projects since I got certified. So that's how they see your value as a black belt. But you just need one.
Gotcha. Do you have other Six Sigma certified folks in your organization who are helping you out?
Actually, with my project alone, I'm the only black belt certified. I have one in my team who's green belt, so I'm making him do the groundwork, more on the groundwork, but I do all the analysis since I love stat. That's one. And then I have one black belt team, but he's from a different department. He's not helping with my project, but it's actually aligned, so we can actually ask each other if this is possible, if this is what or so what.